Okay guys, second last level of the campaign. We've managed to 4 and 5 skull everything up until now. And we're up to wind up. Once again, it's just I do not have any idea what this map could be. But, once I see it, I'll know my strategy. So we'll see. Okay, this is the one.
Master, you once said I was the best.
You were. Except in the end, he was better.
What you say is true. I may have made poor choices.
Those choices are the past. Make different choices now.
Hey, did you hear the part where he said I was better?
Apprentice.
Woohoo! Yeah! #1 war mage! In your face, crazy lady!
Alright. So, for this one, it does seem like a little bit of a step back from having 4 entries, 1 exit. Or just having the stupidly long stairways and everything else that's been going on in the past few maps. Because this one is just enemies come from here, and from there, and there's one more down there. So essentially the enemies that spawn up here have to go all the way around here, all the way down, and finally into that rift right there. So we've got the longest time to deal with them because they come from right up there. The enemies that come from down here have a much shorter route. They just come straight up and in. Easy as. And sort of similar with these guys, they just come up here, back down, and then through. So, I believe the strategy I used to use was something like this.
I like this one.
Where if you block this area off, obviously they can't go straight through there. And then, if you block this area off, then they can't go straight through there either. So they have to all come through here. Which can be quite helpful because you can just line up traps along here and you start off with 10 grand. That's insane. So starting off with 10 grand means you can set up plenty of barricades and still have a lot left over to actually deal the damage. So we're gonna just do our classic brimstone tar pit sort of what do we do it? What was it called? Like checkerboard?
Burn, Orky, burn!
Like that. There we go. So literally everyone that comes through has to come through this. At some point at the end here. They have to come through here. Also, nice little tip for this part at the very least. There's lava to the left and right. And so spring traps are your best friend here. Just put them like this.
Traps are just so cool!
And then you can put another one there once you can afford it. And they'll just occasionally fling off orcs straight into lava, so it's an instant kill, and it just thins the herd a little bit, so it helps out. Alright, other than that, we've got a portal that leads from the main exit point here, back up to the bridge. And so the portal just connects the two between there and here. Other than that, that's about it. So since the enemies are coming through here first, we're just going to defend up here as long as we can and then jump down there if we need to.
Let's go.
Bring it. Okay. See, this is the beautiful thing about the Ring of Lightning. You can just cast that storm and then focus on everybody else and then come back to it again. And just reapply. It's like sunscreen, you just reapply it when you're ready. Or when you think you should. And in this case, it's working out amazingly. No sunscreen cancer for us. Or sunscreen-less, I should say. Okay, and I believe that's the end.
Right.
Beautiful. Alright, so it doesn't say there's a new door opening, so we can safely assume that it's still going to be this one. So let's put down that last spring trap we needed.
Here, Orky, Orky, Orky.
And then maybe an arrow wall or two.
They're breaking through.
Oh, apparently they are coming through down here at the bottom. So, in that case, we will jump down,
Get down below.
just so that we can deal with the main enemies when they all clump up in that final area. Because we all know where they're going to end up, right here, right where we're standing. We just need to make sure that we're ready for it. Okay, they're starting to come down the stairs. See it on the map. Alright, we got our first bunch of sappers. That could be a problem for us. So we're going to have to look out for those guys especially. Luckily, our barricades are all mostly at the end of the track, so any sappers are going to have a real hard time if they're coming from up top.
More fun. You can kill them all at once.
There we go. Okay, so then a new door is opening, and that's that final door. We're just going to throw up some archers, actually.
Keep it coming.
We're going to put them behind the barricades here, so they can help us out a little bit when the enemies get close.
Get down below.
And with any luck, they'll stop any sappers from blowing us up.
Now how many was that? They're almost there.
Alright, so it'll say they're almost there, but that just means they're checking out the barricades and realizing they can't do anything about it, which is exactly what we want. Alright, and the last lots are coming through here. So we should have that sorted. The only bad thing about this is we might not make the part-time, just because we're going to be finishing a lot of the levels at the very end here. And who's showing up last? Okay, so they introduced the Cyclops. The Cyclops is one of the few ranged units that's actually a pain in the butt in this game, just because it has heat-seeking missiles. And so that's going to be a real pain if they actually shoot at us. Alright, let's just send it. Jump through the portal here, because they seem to be starting up here. Don't get me wrong, we have a decent setup up here, but I'm going to help out as much as I can while nothing else is coming out of the other entrances. It's also good if you're playing co-op to sort of divide up the responsibilities. Like someone takes up top and then the other person takes right next to the rift. Just so that there's nothing that could potentially sneak through. Alright, so we got sappers, that's fine. We can deal with those.
More fun. You can kill them all at once.
Oh, more sappers still. That's okay as well. We can handle sappers if they're only coming from one way. We should also have some brimstone maybe set up here,
It's an orc barbecue.
just in case sappers do show up
Keep it coming.
and completely just run straight through. So we'll let these guys get flung off. Okay, beautiful. Now we'll use that. Okay.
Some sort of wreck.
I'm going to try and take out this fire ogre quickly, because most of our traps are fire related and so they won't do all that much. Here we go, got him. I feel like even just setting up little intervals of brimstone helps out so much for taking out kobolds and sappers. Just because they're usually the first ones to hit those little intervals. Just like this. Just have two of them like this, so it's really difficult to avoid. Like, they'd have to be really smart to actually avoid them, and usually they're not. So you're pretty safe on that front. Oh, and there's our bonus skull. Hell yeah. So then these guys should go down without too much of a fight.
So that just happened.
And And then we'll get our bonus skull.
Cool. This used to be an Orc's head.
Alright. And then we'll put down
It's an Orc barbecue.
some brimstone there. Grab our beautiful coin. And now we're just going to be assisting as much as we can in taking out the orcs before the archers have to, if we can help it. Alright. But generally, the archers are just a solid, very solid trap. Just because if you put them behind a barricade, so long as there aren't enemies that use like melee weapons, or long-ranged weaponry, you should be fine. So there's that mage I was talking about, the Cyclops, that shoots those heat-seeking darts or orbs.
Orcs also.
Those are a pain, and you really have to like work hard to actually avoid them.
Burn, Orky, burn.
But it is possible. It just means you have to run away for a little bit.
Bring it.
Alright. So let's throw down some lightning over here. But yeah, those guys you'll learn to be a complete pain if you aren't focusing on them. Because honestly, they do so much damage, especially if there's multiple of them. So anytime you can kill them quickly and early is probably best. The only problem is they also introduce in this level specifically an enemy that can revive recently deceased other enemies. Which you will notice is that small guy. Kinda looks like a shaman sort of deal. So when certain enemies get taken out, the small guy can bring them back, which is a complete pain.
Trophy time.
Luckily though,
Hey, I hope nobody gets hurt.
we've got this
No, I don't.
fairly well managed.
Bring it.
Alright. Fling again. Good. And we use it. Just so it's not wasted on people that aren't going to get flung. Alright, looks like the sappers are coming from up top. That's fine. Because we know they have to take the long way. Oh, and even some of our archers took them out before they even got down here. That's crazy.
They're almost there.
It's fine, the archers are going to take them out. We'll even help them out a little. I'm just being cautious about the sappers. I think they're all gone. Oh yeah, it's just the fire ogre. Chill out, my guy. And gone. Dun-dun-dun-dun. We should probably add in some arrow walls here, just to spice things up a little.
Oh, it's about to get real.
My hope is that the tar trap will slow down the sappers or the ogres, and then it'll just be all the easier to take them out with the arrow wall. Alright, this is where it can get tricky, is when enemy ranged units show up a lot and they just start taking out our guys. We worked hard to place those guys for a cheap price. Alright, we seem to be fine. Let's just help out here where we can. Alright, problem solved. Come on, there we go. We may as well just launch it. I mean, we're as ready as we'll ever be. May as well throw some extra damage up where we can, when we can. These guys are pricks. Especially because they also aim for your friends. There's the revive guys helping out. Okay, all sorted. Yeah, those revive guys are really a pain, especially if they're reviving big guys like ogres and... what are those guys called? Mages or something? Okay, there we go. Beautiful. We should really block off that part where they all just came through. We haven't really done much down here.
Ooh, shiny.
There we go. Something like that should help out. And a little bit of lightning never hurts. The good thing about the shamans that sort of revive everybody though, is that they're really small, so you can fling them with the fling traps. Come on. There we go, we took them out. No reviving for you. Beautiful. Alright, what's going on over here? Hey? Beautiful. Alright. We're actually going through this quite well. I remember this being a lot harder. Especially on... especially playing solo. Although I feel like it'll be this wave that really does us in, if any. Alright. So we got a big guy. Okay, big guy down, that's fine. Oh, sappers are coming from that path. That's probably the worst thing. Try and line up these shots a little more. There we go. Come on, Ring of Lightning, help me out here. Because these archers aren't going to. There we go. Okay. I think we're sorted. I think we've got this just about won. The last one did push pretty hard. The sappers came out of an unusual location, but we managed it. And I believe that means 5 skulls for us. Hey, there we go. Alright, another endless level that we can play with. Now this is an interesting trap. Wall trap. Void wall. Anything thrown in dies instantly. That's right. If you throw an ogre in, insta-kill. Troll, insta-kill. Mage, insta-kill. Ogre, insta-kill. Shaman that revives people, instant kill. So it's pretty interesting, but it's a massive trap. There's only going to be a few walls in the game you can actually put that on, let alone a few levels. So it's really not all that useful, and I don't see it get used a whole bunch, but you never know. It could come in handy one level. But I highly doubt it. Alright. Let's see, can we upgrade anything here? Nothing too fancy. Let's, I mean, we've been saying we'd upgrade our tar when we could afford it, but we cannot. Springtrap, we could make Springtrap cost a bunch less as well. That would be really helpful. Let's think, what can we do? You know what, maybe we'll just save up. We don't often save up. And I don't think there's really much we can get that I think would be worth it at this point in time. So we'll just save up. Save up, and then the very last level I know exactly what it is. Twisted Halls. Alright, so once we get through that... oh, there you go. The very last level I have completed before on a different character, but nobody else on my friends list has. This is where Spartacus and his tale ends. Apparently he hasn't completed Twisted Halls, or at least not by himself. Okay, so there you go. That was Wind Up. Not too bad of a map. We managed to control that a lot better than Mirror Image or Upstairs Downstairs. But yeah, there you go. We're going to save up our skulls for next episode, and hopefully we'll be able to afford something really cool by the end of it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, guys.